What is up, everybody? Andy here with Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz with the next installment of Azur Lane set review. I'm joined today with C Dizzle and the fuckers. Say hi,
What's
guys.
up?
Hello.
Hello.
So
And
which
if you're
one am
watching
I?
this,
Am I the
what?
fuckers or am I C Dizzle?
No, you're C Dizzle.
Okay.
I guess
Oh,
Caleb
I wanted
could
to
C
be.
Dizzle.
I wanted to be the fuckers.
You can be a fucker, Carmen.
Okay.
It's
All
fine.
right.
Fucker one. Carmen's
if
fucker
if you're
1.5
watching this
and
on the day it goes live, it is also my birthday.
Oh
Drop
shit.
down in the
Happy
comments.
birthday.
Wish me
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday. If you don't, you're uninvited from the party.
Damn.
Yeah, so make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Yeah, let's jump into it. This is a notable card. I've seen this one before. This is a adorable card, by the way.
it's also your favorite profile.
It is. It's a
Unicorn.
brainstormer. Yeah. The unicorn. At the start of your encore step, if you have 4 or more other worship characters, and this is standing, so you have full field for this, and this has to be standing, you can pay 3, ditch 1, rest this. Deal 1 to your... Oh, yeah, deal 1 and heal 1, and you could do this starting at level 0. That is crazy. Obviously, you're not really doing that at level 0, but just having an effect like this that you can use theoretically at any point in the game, just on a brainstormer, is like kind of nutty. Especially like going into like your finisher turns. I mean, you could. It's a brainstormer. You could realistically maybe have 2 of them on your field. You maybe do it twice even. I don't know. There's a lot of potential here. I'm gonna defer to the rest of the room here. Caleb and Devin, you guys have played a lot with Azur Lane, right? How has this card felt in practice?
This card is awesome. The fact it is not tied to a level has not only let me heal out of kill range of certain things, but it's also, if I've soul rushed my opponent to high damage, I can just kill them before they get a chance to clap back at the end. The fact that it's 3 stock beginning of encore step means you can just do it technically every turn. I mean, you don't, but if you go into your attack phase with 0 stock and you're just having vanilla swings, you still have 4 instances of damage going into any turn you want to have 4 instances of damage.
It's like
Yeah,
the
the
meme. Like, you remember the old Persona 5 meme where it's like, oh, I lived through my opponent's finisher turn, and then they move their climax out of the way, and there are 2 jokers activating from the back row. It's like that, but like realistic and could actually happen most games.
Well, like honestly, like depending on like how the damage falls, like on your kill turn, let's say, if you're just like 1 point short from killing them, you can like go for it, But if that 1 damage isn't going to get there, you can save your resources for like next turn to try again, or just at any point in the game if it's like you really want their like to ruin their compression in a sense, right? If they're sitting there at like 1/6 about to refresh or something, right? You can kind of like end of your attacks, pay 3, ditch 1, get rid of their entire clock, send it to waiting room, and now they're refreshing a lot more cards. You know what I mean? You can like ruin their compression in a sense too.
Yeah.
The
This is
other...
also,
Go ahead, Deb.
this is also the reason why you don't have as many healing level 3s, because it heals for you.
The other notable thing about this card is it pays out in multiple ways. So if you're triggering a lot, sometimes I've done this effect just to pay out bad like trigger turns. Instead of playing that Shigure with the ditch out when you attack and you have... Because I've played a lot of 8 pants, so if I trigger a whole bunch of pants, I'm like, oh no. But I can just pay 3, get them in my refresh. And because it's at encore step, it's all after you've seen what you've triggered.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely seems like a defining card for Azur Lane.
I like it.
I'm tempted to give it an S. Like it's almost like, have they ever printed this effect again?
The only thing I can compare it to is there's a Summer Pockets package that has Encore Burn if you have a Miki on board that pairs with a whole bunch of her cards, but you have to get it into memory and it's not a brainstorm. Like this card just being able to sit on your field and you can threaten this whenever you want really is just it feels really, really good.
Yeah.
Dude, I keep forgetting this heals too. Like that's just oh my god.
Yeah,
Heal
the
one
ping
and
one,
heal
the
one.
ping one, heal one. It makes it so that like if you ever like you would never pay 3 save a character in the set because you could always just tap this thing down instead. Which would be a lot better.
The only reason I don't give it the S is because you cannot brainstorm and do the auto in the same turn.
Yeah, the card has to be standing.
But at the same time, it's so nice that it's stapled to something as ubiquitous as auto would include as a brainstorm.
Yeah.
It's not like you need to make any concession whatsoever. It's like you have your brainstorm that you would be playing anyway, and then depending how the chips fall, you just have this like really good effect you can always fire off. Again, like it pays out in multiple ways. If you just trigger 3 climaxes in a row, pay them all out. Gives you extra reach and extra longevity with the heal effect. I don't know. It's definitely not like a broken card, but it's like so free and like so pushed.
Yeah, it's definitely pushed. I'd put it that way. I feel like no way you couldn't say it's not. But it's unfortunate it doesn't make its way into the bar decks at all, but
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
That. There's a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that next color. All right, next card. Got this 2 or less stock plus 1500, and then it is a drop search, so it's this oversized drop search card. These used to be super premium. Now they're like just okay, but they're really nice as like if you're gonna put a drop search in your deck, it gives you like a 5th / like plus X additional openers depending on how many of this you draw, because they're good beaters early. I'm generally a fan of cards like this. We like Mikos, even if we have to have 2 or less stock for them.
Oh, fuck, I'd give it the A still. Yeah.
Because this set has a search wiki, it's not like nearly as important, but for certain decks, like there's a resonate package in blue, there's cards that'll pull out other cards from your deck. Just having a drop search is still really nice.
Yeah. I can imagine. All right.
I like her. Oh, I was gonna say I like her outfit too. No, she kind of looks like Mume from Hololive, but
A little bit.
more badass. Yeah.
Very angry.
John Bart, she's French.
No, we don't like that. Yeah. All right, Caleb, go ahead. The next one.
Okay, this is Belfast. During your turn, if you have another warship character, this gets 3k. On attack, if you have the choice in your climax area, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a warship character, add it to hand. And this last line text is actually separate from the climax combo. It is pay 1, discard 1. When this is front attacked, you may pay cost. You can choose another one of your warship characters and this card and add them both back to your hand. I have seen this played just for the last
It's Iron Man.
effect, actually.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely pretty strong. The fact that it's a climax combo and a JC. You have another cracked, like yellow auxiliary level 1 that makes like looping this even without the like JC like pretty easy. I mean, like it's a shitty plus, but it's the fact that it pluses itself again. It's like a +2. It's off choice. Makes the like payout pretty decent. But like I don't know, the fact that it's like a bad plus I think is what holds it back. But it's still
I don't even know if it's
fine.
a bad. Well, what part of it's a bad plus? The combo, I guess, is a bad plus, but the auto effect on top of that is you're adding itself, which again, if you can combo, I'd say that's a pretty good plus.
It just depends.
And another one of your warships, which could be another of this, or it could be I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
like doing this into another turn of this doesn't feel that great to me in the modern game, but it's definitely fine.
Swings for
me-
75 also.
For me, it's a deck speed issue.
Yeah,
Like
that's
this just doesn't get anywhere.
True, but isn't there some like other good deck speed cards we've seen so far? Like even just in the trial decks. Mill 3, drop salvage, I think there was the Chiuri. Like there's some deck speed.
Yeah. Aside from
It's
the
all on
Chiuri,
deck though.
aside from the Chiuri, you're also looking at paying stock,
I'm
which
sorry, Devin, go ahead.
you're running. Oh no, you're fine. If you're playing choice, yeah, you don't have to worry about stock as much. But this is a type of combo you probably want to try and loop. So you have to run choice pants. That may not necessarily work out the best, especially when you also want to try and slot in green. It's a lot of colors to throw in.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It definitely seems like you would want to, since it pops itself back, you're inclined to want to follow up with another turn of this. So pants would be good.
yeah. All right, we can move on here. This is Devin's.
All right, this is HMS Cheshire. This card is placed on stage. From hand, you may heal. And then climax combo, experience 6. So heavy experience. Choice is placed in your climax area. It is in your front row. If the sum of your levels is 6 or more, mill 1, then deal X to your opponent. X equals the number equal to the card's level plus 1. So this is a Musashi.
Like a guaranteed Musashi on climax placement for free.
This is a cat.
Yep, it's a cat. Not very good.
The timing on that's interesting. Like especially if you have 3 of these firing off, you get all the burns before you even go to attacks. That's kind of nice in like figuring out how you want to swing if you have like side attack options or
Yeah.
I don't know.
I need to talk about this now.
Yeah, go ahead.
They gave all these choice finishers 0 stock requirements. There is not a single choice finisher other than the Negsol Illustrious, which is bad, any sort of stock requirement in an 8 choice deck, and it bothers me.
Yeah, kind of missed potential there. Nothing to spend your stock on.
I guess
Well,
the idea is to play this and double unicorn, but like I tried it and it doesn't work super well.
there's a
Well, yeah,
card coming up in a couple slides, so that's where you spend your stock.
I was gonna say, yeah, I do like that with double unicorn, because there's no hand requirement either. You just shit 3 of these down, and that's a lot of healing too with the unicorns. I mean, that Well, at that point, if the goal is to triple this double unicorn, then you're over healing. Like you're not getting the full value off your heals unless you're like at 3-5.
Which, if you live to finish your turn from level 2, you probably end up being that way anyway.
Maybe I don't know. Where it is the age of Gura supremacy, so maybe.
It is the age
Age of Shark.
from dying from 1-3 work.
I don't
Shark
like
and
it.
Bone Daddy.
I actually think it sucks.
Ooh,
Don't like it.
but it's free.
I don't
And it's
care.
like on climax play.
Yeah, normal
And it's a
Musashi.
cat.
Combine it with unicorn. That seems pretty
The
good.
best part about this card is the art. I like this character. I like this climax. Combo sucks.
Yellow's just
Yeah,
rough,
it's
too.
rough. Not very many hits. All right. Background to Andy. Go ahead.
Holy smokes. We got another banger of a card here. What's it do? On play, it's 500 power times the number of characters counting herself. And she is a climax combo. When this card's battle opponent gets reversed, if you have the choice, stock up to one card, then reveal the top if it's a warship added to hand.
Oh, Union, how far you
At
have
level-
fallen.
Well, at level 0.
Yeah, it's a level 0 Union.
Huh.
I hate it.
I think this card sucks, which is unfortunate because I like this character.
I don't know anything
We
about
love-
this character, but I like her too.
She's serious. She
We do
pairs
like
with Vito.
Sirius.
Yeah, I was gonna say she reminds me of that other character you saw.
That's
Yeah.
She
unfortunate.
has the sword.
The climax combo effect is strong, but it's going to be very tough to do this like at level 0 when you're able to get the reverses with it. It's like way too much to sculpt for on like turn 1 or 2. So
All right.
that's rough.
All right, Andy, here we go. You want to talk about experience? We're getting, there was experience
Holy
6.
shit, experience 8.
8. Yeah,
What the fuck?
there's a lot of these. Experience 8.
I don't think I've ever seen it go that. I think the highest I've seen is like 5 in Adventure Time.
This is the farthest they've ever gone with experience
What?
before. If the sum of the levels and the cards in your level zone is 8 or more, this gets 1500 power and the following ability. Auto, when this card's battle opponent is reversed, you may pay 2 ditch to. If you do, burn 4 and then on play heal.
Is that good enough to that doesn't seem good enough to be like
Okay,
Experience 8.
hitting
Is it?
experience 8 is like not that bad in this set because there's so many heavy cards that you want to play. And this as an offender, the fact that this card heals, this card has made it into more decks than it probably ever should have. Like splashable healers that do literally anything else relevant are so few and far between in this set that this card has seen like a significant amount of play. I've played with this before. It's like totally fine. It's not the best, but the fact that it's a healer and you get the burn 4. Pretty
I guess
good.
It is like a climaxless last shot.
Yep. You got to get a reverse, but it's
One of the-
climaxless.
One of the funniest things I've done is I've played this card in 8 standby, and I got hit to level 3, but they were crashing, so then I killed them on their turn.
Yep, because it's cross turn. I've also played this card in 8 standby. That is where I played it.
Notable in that case too is you take damage before the characters actually fight. So if they knock you to level 3,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. If
And
they
this is
knock
in
you
the
to
front
level
row.
3, and then their character does battle, crashes in, you can burn them on that attack.
Yep.
Yes.
It's pretty decent. All right, moving on. Caleb, go ahead.
Oh, I get one of the coolest cards in this set. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may heal one. This is Perseus, by the way. Auto, pay to discard to rest this. If this is in, or at the start of your attack phase, if this is in your front row, you may pay cost. Deal 2 damage to your opponent twice. Heal up to 1.
So this card
I
does
think
not
this-
swing. You pay 2 ditch
Correct.
to rest this. Burn
Heal
2
2
twice.
twice though. That's nice. And it's like a double heal. This is a cool card.
Yeah, this I considered running this many times and then could never find a place to play it or resolve the effect.
Also
That's where I'm at,
climaxless.
too.
That's something.
It's but it's definitely super cool. Be really nice in standby, because then it's like, even cheaper. Still get the heal. Dodging combat is cool. But yeah, how do you play it? Like, just how do you find the slots to play the card? Even in standby, I feel like in standby, I'd rather play the other card just because it outputs more damage than this, because the other card swings. And then also, like, I don't know, in standby I have like all the runes and all the what's her name, the card that stands stuff up that I can't remember her name, the climax combo.
Graph speed.
Graph. Yeah, so like you just run out of like slots to like do anything with.
The
Easy.
Drake also sits bigger which is
Yeah.
important for standby.
Just
That
don't play
card's just
Rune.
11-5 all the time. No, you have to play
This-
Rune. Rune's so good. You have
The
to play
sets
Rune.
feel
Oh, she's
so like old
bad.
school. It's like a. It seems like it'd be a really good like just a every turn like heal down to 3/0 sort of deck, kind of like a Madoka or something, where it's just like you get to level 3 and then
What's
you just live
3/0?
forever. Like everything just
Yeah,
heals.
what's 3/0?
I
Haven't-
don't know
Yeah,
if
that's
that
why I
is
said
haven't-
anymore.
old school.
Yeah, I
but-
haven't seen that for a long time.
That number doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Just
Only
like
in-
birds.
I go from 2/2
only in
to
Mirror.
dead. Yeah,
Only in
I've been
Mirror do you see
at
3-0.
2/0 with Mirror. That is true. All right, next.
Oh boy, I got the Malin.
Yeah, go ahead, Devin.
When this card is placed on stage from hand, check 3, choose a card, add it to your hand, send the rest of the waiting room. And choice. When this card attacks, if you have the choice in your climax area, gains following ability. This ability can only be activated up to once per turn. When this card's damage is canceled, you may deal 2 to your opponent. It's Yang from Ruby and Machina from Grisaya.
Yep. It's
Okay.
like fine. Like not the greatest combo. I don't really like cancel burn finishers anymore. I thought I did, and then it was like, I don't know. The fact that it's not an additional instance and it's only trying to assure damage, I don't think is what makes cancel burns of any kind like okay. I think they're fine on like off finishers and stuff, but like I feel like primary finishing cards need to be pushing additional instances because of how insane the game's gotten. But like a card like this, despite being totally fine, just doesn't hack it.
I wish this could like give it to another character, like how Bismarck
Yeah.
gives Mocha. I wish this gave the cancel burn to some.
It would be a lot more interesting because then we could pair it with the restander. That would be really sick, and it would also give you something to do with your goddamn stock. If you were playing the
Yeah.
restander, but unfortunately,
I just look
does
at this
not.
and I compare it to the Cheshire that we looked at earlier. You know, this is always only getting 1 instance of damage. You know, the Cheshire can get 2. So you really like stick 2 instances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. It's
Cheshire heals.
That too.
all right. Next, back to Andy.
Alright. Level 0. When this attacks, reveal the top card. If it's a warship, choose one of your opponent's front row level 0 or lower characters and send it to the waiting room. When this is reversed, if the battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you can send that character to stock. So it's a stock bomb and an on attack. Sink something.
Maybe. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, it's coin flip to sink something.
Just check
This
character.
doesn't
What are you
seem very
talking about?
good.
Yep, it's just like a double removal.
Didn't Azur Lane get a promo that was like this effect, but it just checked for warship character on the top? Or am I making that up?
I can't remember specifically. Like, okay, it's like a removal bomb. Thought it was interesting that it was like also had a shoot effect.
If everyone's playing on death effects, go
Yeah.
for it.
Even on death effects, you only get the stock on one of them. You actually shoot another one.
Oh,
You
yeah.
activate their own death effect.
All right, we got this 1/0 combo. If you have another character, this gets 1500, so it's going to be 55 all the time. When you play the choice, if you have another character, this gains 2 abilities. The character across from this cannot return to hand, move to other slots, or go to memory. It's got the Kermie lockdown effect. And then on reverse salvage. So it's literally like the Kermie, where it's a 6500 that like locks the card down. I don't get hype for America, kids. These cards still aren't good. Doesn't matter how much extra text they give onto it. On reverse salvage ain't it?
Yeah. He
So
looks
this
cool
just
though.
Yeah, this is Ark Royal. She was actually the one that whose aircraft actually sunk the Bismarck.
Okay.
She
That's
got the
cool.
big gun.
He does have the big gun. We like that.
She also likes quote unquote destroyers. She's the lolicon
Oh
of
God.
the Azur Lane world.
No. She's
Whoa,
been
he got hit with that
ruined.
sauce.
I'm sorry. I actually like Arc Royal generally speaking, but it's that is the one major downfall.
All right. Next. Caleb, go ahead.
Oh, sweet. Experience 2, discard 1 warship character. When this is placed on stage from hand, if the sum of your levels is 2 or more, you may pay cost. If you do, choose a cost 0 or lower character in your waiting room, place at any slot on the stage. It's Rene, but only the one line of text.
Still fucking
With more
cracked.
conditions.
Still awesome.
Yeah, this was the yellow auxiliary card I was talking about that makes it awkward to play the best yellow level 1 combo because, like, you don't care if you, like, lose the card because you could just rip the card back out the next turn with this card. But it's not a plus, obviously it's a filter, but you'd rather have, like, a better plussing effect and then play this to loop than, like, a card that can plus another card back and then you grab it. Like it's still fine. It's still a fine strategy. It's just not, like, as good as it could be. But this card is still, like, really fucking good.
Oh, this is Neptune, by the way.
Neptune. Why she has
I love the
clams.
I love the character design. Yeah, the clamshell hair clips are super cool.
Yeah, Yostar does the character design thing very well. It's just Azur Lane, like I said. Lollies or mommies, no in between. That's all we got. All right, next. Devin.
All right, this is Rishulu. If this card is in your front row center slot, for each of your other warships, this gets 1,500 power. So she sits, 11K? She sits big. No, she
12,
sits
12.5.
12.5. And when this card's level 2 or higher battle opponent is reversed, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a warship, choose one of your warship characters in waiting room. You may add it to hand.
I've played with this card. This card's actually fine. It gets a lot of power.
A level 3 killer that actually salvages for you. That's solid. I like it.
I've tested with this card, but it was only in Royal Navy builds, and I actually prefer the next card to it more in those builds, at least. But the card is still pretty good.
Yep, I enjoyed, like, playing with this. The fact that it's, like, a 1 cost that can, like, randomly plus, like, refund itself and then, like, plus you on later turns, like, pretty good.
The fact that it's cross turn is nice.
Yep, it means you can, like, defend it, and it's like a chunky body. Ends up being like 12-5 on its own. Has to be in the center, which kind of sucks. It's like Review style, but whatever. All right, another banger 2-1. This is Andy, right?
Yeah, you know, we were talking about lollies and mommies. This is a mommy right here. A dommy mommy, if I will. The sum of levels of cards in your level zone is 5 or more. This gets 5,500 power, and when you reverse your opponent, you can send that character to stock. Then their bottom stock goes out. So there's a stock kicker for of experience 5, and it's 55. So what's that? It's swing for 12-5 with the stock kick. And on play, you can pay 1, ditch 1, search your deck for a climax with a choice. Add it to your hand. This seems pretty relevant as like an anti-meta card. So there seems to be a lot of stuff that comes down at level 2 right now. That it just will keep recurring itself. Whether it's things like Muron or Alice or I don't know, anything that Hololive's doing, being able to like swing over and permanently remove something. I guess not permanent. Well, send it to another zone. They can't encore it. They can't do any shenanigans. Seems like a positive here.
If only it searched doors like Quince and not choices. But I mean, if you're playing choice, you play this card. If you're
Why would
playing
it
a
search
choice
doors?
finisher, Quince has this exact same card, but it searches doors. Which is far more relevant for that deck. The downside of this card, all the text on this card is a banger, except that it has the choice symbol and doesn't search a combo that like was relevant past 2 onwards. Whereas like unlike Quince, you searching a door at any point in the game was like pretty poggers. But because this searches choice and the choice combos all kind of it unfortunately reflects poorly on the card in the context of the set. But like literally all the text on the card slaps. Like I love this card in Eatski.
Is that card is that not strong enough to really matter? Like 12-5 with stock kick.
12-5 stock kick. Like... if you were already in yellow, you could. But the problem is like it's I don't know. Maybe Caleb and Devin can back me up on this. Playing yellow is really hard in Azur Lane. Like, if you're not all yellow, it is very hard to play yellow cards.
It's very rough. Like, I've tried slotting the card we're going to see on the next slide just as, like, some anti-meta tech, but it's like, what I can't do anything with yellow until these later levels, and, like, the stuff is so niche or, like, not worth the slot over something else that's in another color.
Yeah, yellow is definitely like a hard sell, which is the only bad thing about this card. Like the text all slaps. Just the fact that it searches choice.
Azur Lane set 2, baby. This card will slap.
Yep.
Yo, animation set when?
Yeah, that would be nice. After the Summer Pockets anime set. It's coming soon. Coming soon. We've gotten everything else. There's no way we don't get this one, right? All right.
Soon to a Walmart near you.
All right. Last one here. If your opponent's level 3 or higher, this gets -1 level in hand. Pretty decent early play condition. During your turn, +2k, as long as you have 2 or other characters. On play, draw 2, drop 2. Then choose one of your opponent's level 1 or higher characters. If you do, your opponent chooses a level 1 or lower character in their waiting room and swaps those characters. Equals the level of the character you chose -1. So level down. Again, things about level down doesn't work when your opponent doesn't have a grave. Doesn't work if your opponent doesn't have a target. Like in their grave, if they don't have anything, they only have level 3s in their grave, and you're trying to level down to level 3. That doesn't do anything. But the fact that this draw 2, drop 2, makes it so that even if the level down doesn't go off, it's like fine. And level down is like kind of like bounce, provided you don't provided your opponent doesn't have like hexproof or something like that, or has the target in their grave, you can at least get an effect off the board if they have a cross turn effect. The fact that it's an early play is nice.
An interesting mix of effects. Early playing if they have a level 3, and then removing the same level 3 that you early played this off of. It's kind of cool. But I just don't know if that does enough for me.
The downfall of this card is that right now, the early play condition, I think, isn't actually very good in the meta, because, like, if you're playing into Slime, you could level down their Shuna, but how are you going to get it on the board? Because they
don't have a single level 3. Or against Alice, they were never, the only time there's a level 3 on the board is if you're playing against somebody who's playing the Lifa, and it's parked in the back row. In which case, like, your opponent is so far fucking ahead to, like, resolve that, like, level down ain't helping you at that point in the game.
Like, I wish the early play condition was anything else.
Yeah, I think the card's fine. Mostly considering that, God, your early play options suck. There's one good one. Azur Lane got, like, super shafted on early plays.
They revealed the one good one early and then didn't give it anything else.
Yeah, there was literally no other options. All right, well, to wrap it up here, yellow notable profiles, couple here. We got the first one here, level 0, 500 power, come and play Cosma, and then it also has come and play ditch a character to draw 1. So a nice little double filter there, even if the first one is costed. So Cosma's pay 1, ditch any card, check up to 3, add any card, do not reveal it. If you did not know what that, community term is. Come and play if you have one or more other 2k cross turn. And also come and play 1, ditch 1, bow to your opponent's character on a level 0, which is really nice. So like the fact that this is 35 for 1 turn cycle early, and then you can bounce a character late game, like makes it an okay yellow splash that you can have a level 0 that's a bouncer. I'll give you a little bit more options here. We got the Formidable. I couldn't leave out Formidable. That's the only Azur Lane character that I know, for reasons that will not be revealed. 15 plus 1,500 if you have 2 or less stock, 3K total. And then you can lock down your opponent's character. Lockdown is actually weirdly relevant right now with all the Gura running around. Your opponent will more than likely stand by out a Gura that will sit in the back row until your opponent inevitably hits 3. If you can lock that card down, your opponent went from triple Gura, which is unlivable, from God knows how early into level 2, to an extremely livable double Gura. So lockdown is like actually a pretty relevant tech effect right now. So I wasn't completely, waifu blind here. But I do love Formidable. And then we got this other level 0. It's literally Neon Cat, same text. Level 1 plus coin flip to hand. Come and play Submarine. If you have the slots, you're not playing the cats to play this card in the plussing slot, Neon Cat is still incredibly annoying for your opponents. Then moving on to level 1s, you got a 1/0 come and play. If you have one other, it gets 2K cross turn. Then you can pay 1, ditch 1 to move an opponent's character to an open slot. So at grappling hooks. And then we have a 1/1, which is a 2K backup, but it's also a stock Adachi when it's on the board. So it's not an anti-change counter. It's a normal 2K backup with a soul trigger, but if you play it to the board, it is a stock Adachi, which is
I like that card
really
a
nice.
lot.
Yeah,
That's really fucking awesome.
I really like modular Adachis like that have literally any other use to them than that.
Yeah.
Because they're a card that you hold and then your opponent goes, well, I'm not going to play an Adachi because I'm just going to be level 3 next turn. And you're like, okay, well now this card is useless, but at least a 2K counter is just enough to have your card that randomly sits at 5 or 55 cross turn to live.
Yeah, I'm
Pretty
surprised
nice.
I'm surprised the Neon Cat doesn't make the cut. That was at least to me, felt like the defining card of Ruby.
I think it was a different
Ruby
time.
finisher.
I think back then the 0 was definitely stickier and slower, outside of Hololive being the only one who was shitting out a bunch of on death pluses. Whereas even if they went first, removing a single Aqua with Neon Cat was good enough. But now there's so much stuff running around that and decks are so streamlined that things just don't even care. We're just fast enough for Neon Cat to not be that great. Also, the cats. We're gonna get to the cats next color. The cats kind of invalidate all these other level 0 plussing options because they're so unbelievably disgusting. Speaking of disgusting green cards, we will see you guys in the next one.